Hi, this is Algebra 2, Lesson 7. We're going to talk about percent, and we're going to do some equations from geometry. We're starting on page 46. Percent. Per means by in Latin, and centum means 100. So percent means by the 100, or by the 100. If we say, what fraction of 9 is 2? We set up the problem like this. Remember, of means multiplying, is means equals. So we're going to say, what fraction of 9 equals 2? Okay? We can solve for what fraction by dividing both sides by 9. If we want to say what percent of 9 is 2, we're going to start out the exact same way. Remember, percentage is by the 100, so we're going to say percent over 100 of 9 is 2. Okay? Let's turn it around and say what percent of 2 is 9? So what percent of 2 is 9? Okay, here's something a little bit different. If we say, what rate was he traveling when he went 2 miles in 9 hours? We know that rate times time equals distance, right? But if we think about it, when we're talking about rates, we're talking about speeds. And if you're driving down the highway, at least in the United States, the speed limits are in miles per hour. So your rate is 30 miles per hour, or 55 miles per hour. Or if you're driving out in the boondocks in Texas, it could be 80 miles an hour. Okay? So miles per hour is your rate. And if you look at this, miles is a distance and hours is time. So rate equals distance divided by time. Okay? So the rate he was traveling is going to be his distance divided by his time. And that's going to give you miles per hour. When you're working percentage problems in the book, they have you do diagrams, and they show you diagrams, and they would like you to do the diagrams. The diagrams in the book are a way of visually thinking through a problem so you know if your answer is reasonable. You don't have to do them. You are not required to do them. But if you don't, you need to think about what the question is answering so you know if your problem is reasonable. Okay? Alright, here's an easy one. 18 is 20% of what number? Okay? So we have a percentage, we have what number, and we have 18. Here's the of. So 20%, that's 20 out of 100, of what number equals 18. That's how you're going to set this up. Okay? To find the answer, we're going to multiply times the reciprocal on both sides so that these cancel, and we have n equals, this will be 1800 divided by 20. We can get rid of one of the zeros on one side. We have 180 divided by 2 is 90. So 18 is 20% of 90. Okay, if you think in terms of their diagrams, we could have made a box. You could have thought through 20 is, well, 20 cents is a fifth of a dollar, so it's about a fifth. There's a half, so this is about a fifth. So this is going to be 18, which is 20%. This is going to be the 80%. It's what's left. right? So the whole thing, the entire thing is 90. And what's left is going to be 72 because 90 minus 18 is 72. So here's your diagram. You can see if it's a reasonable answer. In this case it is. You could also have done 18 times 5 if you had thought the 20% through. Okay, let's try this one. 1500 is what percent of 250? Okay, we could draw the diagram. Let's try it without drawing the diagram first. Let's think through what would be a reasonable question, a reasonable answer. We want a percent of 250. So 250 is our whole, and we want to know what percent of the 250 is 1500. 1500 is considerably bigger than 250. So the answer is going to be considerably bigger than 100%, right? 100% of 250 is 250. So this is going to be considerably bigger than 100%. Okay? Okay. So we have 1500 is what percent, and percent is over 100, of 250. Okay? That's how we're going to set this up. Okay? If we multiply times the reciprocal of the constants that are here and multiply times 100 and divide by 250, we'll get rid of both of these numbers and we'll be left with what percent. We need to do that on this side also. And then you punch this into the calculator. So 1500 times 100 divided by 250, and the percent is going to be 600%. So 250 is 1500 is 600% of 250, which is indeed considerably bigger than 100%. Okay? If you choose not to do the diagrams, then you need to think it through very carefully so you know if your answer is reasonable. If your answer isn't reasonable, it's wrong. Okay, equations from geometry. We need to find x, and what is given is that angle A equals 2x plus 2 degrees, angle B equals 7x plus 18 degrees, and angle C equals 6x plus 10 degrees. Okay, we have a triangle. We know that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle equals 180 degrees, right? So we should be able to add this up. We have 2x plus 2 plus 7x plus 18 plus 6x plus 10 equals 180. All right, let's put our like terms together. We have 2x plus 7x plus 6x plus 2 plus 18 plus 10 equals 180. 2 plus 7 plus 6 is 15x plus 2 plus 18 plus 10 is 30 equals 180. Now we can subtract 30 from both sides. And 15x equals 150. Divide by x. Don't divide by x. Divide by 15. That would give you a much better answer. X equals 10. Okay? This is actually the answer to our question. The question was to find x. But if the question had asked you to find the angles, we could do that at this point. Angle A is 2x plus 2, which is 2 times 10 plus 2, which equals 22 degrees. Angle B equals 7x plus 18, which is 7 times 10 plus 18, which is going to be 70 plus 18 is 88 degrees. And C is 6x plus 10, which equals 6 times 10 plus 10, which equals 70 degrees. And we can check this by adding these together. 2 plus 8 is 0, carry a 1. 11 plus 7 is 180. So they all add up to 180 degrees. It's a good check to do. If they didn't add up to 180 degrees, you did something wrong. Okay, here's another one. Find x. Then find the measure of a small angle and a large angle. Okay, so here we have 4 parallel lines. Remember, these little arrowheads mean these lines are parallel, and they are being intersected by a transversal line. And you remember we said that when a line transverses parallel lines, then the opposite angles are equal, and the adjacent angles are supplementary. So they're going to add up to 180. Okay? So if this is 3x degrees, then this is 3x degrees. If this is 3x degrees, then this is also 3x degrees. And so is this one. Right? So these little angles are all 3x degrees. And that one. Right? Alright, let's use a different color. This big angle is 4x plus 33. That means this big angle is also 4x plus 33. And this big angle is 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 4x plus 33. Right? Okay, so first we need to solve for x. We know that 4x plus 33 and 3x are supplementary, so we can say that 4x plus 33 plus 3x equals 180. So 7x plus 33 equals 180. We subtract 33 from both sides. 7x equals 147. And we divide by 7 from both sides, and x equals 21. Okay? So that was the first thing we were supposed to do. Now we're supposed to find the measure of the small angles and the measure of the large angles. The small angles were 3x, and the large angles were 4x plus 33. So 3x is going to be 3 times 21, which equals 63 degrees. And the measure of the large angles is going to be 4 times 21 plus 33, which equals 84 plus 33, which equals 127. Okay? No, it doesn't. It's 117. Sorry. 117. We can check that by adding 117 plus 63, and that should give us 180 degrees. Okay? The measures of angles A, B, C, and D are in the ratio of 1 to 2 to 4 to 2. Find the measure of each angle. Okay, so first of all, we can see that A plus B plus C plus D is going to equal 180 degrees, right? So we're starting from here. We're moving our terminal angle this way. Whee! And although we're stopping at all these places, we are going to end up at 180 degrees. It's a straight angle, so A plus B plus C plus D is 180 degrees. Now this ratio thing says this is obviously not actually 1 degree, and this isn't 2 degrees, and this isn't 4 degrees, and this isn't 2 degrees. What this means is that there is some number that has been factored out of all of these numbers. And if we put that number back in and multiply it times each of these, when we add these up, it's going to be 180 degrees. So we're just going to call that number x. And we're going to say that 1 times x, which will be this one, plus this one is 2, so this is going to be 2 times x. So 1x plus 2x plus, this is 4 times that number, 4x, and then this one is back to 2 times the number, plus 2x equals 180. Okay? That's what a ratio is. Okay, now we're going to simplify this and solve for x. So we have 1x plus 2x is 3x plus 4x is 7x plus 2x is 9x. So 9x equals 180. Divide both sides by 9, and x equals 20 degrees. Okay? If x equals 20 degrees and this is 1x, then we know that this is actually 20 degrees. So angle A is 20 degrees. B is 2 times x, so it's 2 times 20 degrees. So angle B is 40 degrees. C is 4 times x, or 4 times 20 degrees. So angle C is 80 degrees. And angle D is back to being 2 times x, or 2 times 20 degrees. So angle D is 40 degrees. We can check this by adding these together. So 20 plus 40 is 60, plus 80 is 140, plus 40 is 180 degrees. Okay? So to find this ratio, they factored a 20 out of all of these. And when you factor, you divide, right? So 20 divided by 20 is 1. 40 divided by 20 is 2. 80 divided by 20 is 4, and 40 divided by 20 is 2. So they found the ratios by factoring out a 20 from each of these angle degrees. Okay? Okay, that's it for this lesson. Try the practice problems in your homework. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.